Today is our first Fancast match, a new match that we're adding to Season 2 of the League of Cinephiles. Dev, Guy, Lucky Boy, Rod.
So
damn it, dude! What the hell? I'm coming after you for Childish Gambino.
Everyone said he's a good.
We
now have Tom Holland.
Chris Pratt is.
Adam Driver. I don't know.
Dude, are you serious right now? What the actual?
You had me on the first one, man.
So I have to acknowledge the Melissa McCarthy right away, Rod.
As ridiculous as the Melissa McCarthy and Charlize Theron pairing is, yes,
No.
I have to defend my choice, guys. I have to defend my choice.
Lucky Boy's in the lead right now. Look,
I want points taken off. I'm gonna come to Guy because he interrupted me. I'm not gonna be nice. I don't need my Joker waving his wand around saying Habara Kedavra.
I just want to talk about stuttering and mumbling. Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, shut it, guys. I had enough of you today.
Lucky Boy's score, we went for a 5.5 on that one. 29 to 29 to 29. We ended at a three-way tie.
Lucky had it until the Shia LaBeouf.
We have a three-way tie between Rod, Guy, and Lucky Boy. Ooh, welcome everyone to the League of Cinephiles. I'm your host, Alex Hull, bringing you more simulated competition. Now, we're back. We promised you a sequel to the most popular match of Season 2, our first ever Fancast match, starring Rod, Lucky Boy, Dev, and Guy. All four of them are back for the sequel. The original, it was a battle, 4 rounds. I mean, bloody as hell. One of the best matches we've had in the entire history of the league, really. It ended up in a 3-way tie, but we are back to get a proper conclusion to that match. And again, the original cast is back, guys. Like the Ghostbusters, like Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. We have the original cast coming back, and it's huge, guys. And with me today is going to be my co-host and fellow judge who's going to be helping me decide this matchup, Jack Renaud. Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited to be here. I wasn't here last time, but I watched the video, and these four have really good chemistry at fighting each other. So I couldn't miss the opportunity to see it live.
No, for sure. Like you said, it's not the type of chemistry that we're used to. Like, for example, in duos, we talk about chemistry, like duos, film trivia, we talk about chemistry within teams working together. No. These four have chemistry within the confines of being able to beat the shit out of each other. I mean, obviously you have Rod and Guy, you have history, but then you add Dev and Lucky Boy to the mix. Dev and Guy have their own history, teaming up for a while, now they're facing each other. And then there's Lucky Boy, who just wants to have a good time. And of course, Dev, the Conqueror, as he's known now, is now on a mission to get a win for the hunt. So when you look at the rankings here, as Gone with the Wind and Cinephiles in Paradise and the 5 Angry Men are on top, very close within the number of the points separating all three of these factions. What are you looking for in terms of which of these competitors need the win the most for their faction?
Well, like you mentioned, we've got 3 people who are currently tied in first. So if any of those 3 win this, it's going to push them over the top.
I know I've talked about guys representing the Watchers. I know I've talked a lot about the Watchers needing wins. At this point, they're just trying not to be last. Not sure they can come back at this point. They're just trying to rack up as many points as possible to not humiliate themselves overly. And then, but for Rod representing Gone with the Wind, for Lucky Boy representing Cinephiles in Paradise, this is going to be huge for them. And we know that they were both very close to winning this match last time. So they're definitely determined. Representing Gone with the Wind.
Thank you. And I had no idea Guy's team was in last place, so I'm not even worried about Guy tonight. I'm worried about Lucky Boy. I can't forget Guy, forget Dev. It's just me and Lucky, because Lucky Boy stole a couple of my answers last time, and I'm out for revenge because he really pissed me off. So I've been looking forward to this. It's me and you, Lucky Boy. Guy and Dev, Patel, y'all go ahead. Y'all can have your own little rematch on somewhere else. It's me and Lucky Boy tonight.
All right. There's 3 other people left. I have no idea who to bring in next, but let's bring him in representing the hunt. Dev, the Conqueror.
From what I remember, the last match, I was the odd one out in the 3-way tie. But, I can always come from the trenches and redeem myself and leave the other 3 still tied behind me this time.
Representing Cinephiles in Paradise, Lucky Boy!
Man, it feels good to be back. The closest I've ever got to winning anything in any of these challenges was a 3-way tie for first place. Like, I was like, dude, and at least the bar is so low for Guy, apparently. All he has to do is not embarrass himself. When you said that, I was like, dude, he's just trying not to embarrass himself this round. Oh, Jesus.
Last but certainly not least, the last piece of the puzzle. Representing the Watchers, Guy No.
What's up? Okay, look, let me just preface. Been hearing a lot of talk about my team, the Watchers, because they have not been as watching on their scores lately. I whooped Dev's ass I beat Dev last time. So I feel like there's a little bit of confidence from that.
Just
Rod,
remind me where the Watchers rank since I've left.
Rod, let me just say that you have a lot of talk, and that's it.
Guy, real quick before we get to the rules, I'm just going to go to you for a question real quick because Dev was the one that brought it up. Do you think it's a coincidence or not that the Watchers were first place last season, and now that Dev left and Aniolo didn't pick him for season 2, they're now close to last with barely any chance at getting first place again?
Interesting.
No comment.
No comment.
All right. So before we start, let's get to the good old rules for you all who didn't watch. I would recommend seeing the original. So you haven't seen the original. It's like you can't see Ghostbusters 2. You can't see Ghostbusters Afterlife without seeing the first Ghostbusters. So watch the first one. But let's get to the rules. 4 rounds, each with a certain character or characters, in which the 4 individuals in the match must find an actor to play. Now, the individuals in the match cannot come up with the same actors for the same character. So we will go in a specific order, and that order will change for each of the characters. So the competitors are recommended to have backups in case someone else steals their pick. And then myself and Jack.
I don't know how we keep reading each other's mind because it's not like we're not even close to each other. Like it's crazy.
So and then myself and Jack will be grading each individual from a scale of 1 to 10. We're gonna come up with the cumulative score for everyone per round. The person with the most points at the end of this match will become the definitive winner. Guy, are you ready?
Yes.
Rod, are you ready?
Always.
Dev, the Conqueror, are you ready?
Born ready.
And Lucky Boy, are you ready?
I'm just trying not to embarrass myself, really.
All right, let's get to the first character. Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, shit.
Guy Noel is not just a person, he's an idea and a philosophy. So I think, sorry I'm overdoing myself, but I just think that, I'm setting myself to a high standard, to the Guy Noel standard. The Watchers are not setting to the Guy Noel standard, they're setting to the new Watcher standard. I'm supportive of my team.
What the hell is the Guy Noel standard?
It's whatever I wanted to do.
Let's go to Rod first.
Oh, well, thank you, Alex.
Oh.
Look at that. Well, my pick is Benicio del Toro.
James McAvoy.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver, popular pick here in the Fancast matches. Let's go to Rod first.
I just thought of a better one.
Don't start interrupting Rod. He's not even started yet.
15 added seconds because of Mr. Guy Noel over there.
I'm trying not to embarrass myself.
Is that part of the Guy standard? You just interrupt everybody? I chose Benicio del Toro because the guy is very versatile and the guy can play. The guy's a little bit of a creep. He always creeps me out in whatever performance I see him in. Even in stuff like the Marvel Cinematic Universe as him as the Collector, or even in the Sicario films, he's kind of a bit shadowy, a little bit weird.
When you're trying to pick Hannibal Lecter, you need somebody who is not only creepy and intimidating, but can play off equally that he is the smartest person in the room. You need to hold the power in every single conversation. And Adam Driver has proven throughout his full career that he has the range to not pull off just the creepiness, but also be the most intimidating presence in any given room.
I chose Benedict Cumberbatch because he has a refined quality to him, but I don't know why. I've always wanted to see him play a really creepy character because he has a creepy vibe to him. Like, he's skinny, he's gangly, but he's always played like a kind of a suave guy, and he can pull it off. But I want to see him go extreme. Like, I want to see him when like that Jekyll and Hyde where it switches and you see a whole new side to Cumberbatch.
I chose James McAvoy because he scares the shit out of me. He played a very smart guy who's like confident. He played Professor X, but then he played that crazy fucking guy in Split. And all I'm saying is that guy scares the crap out of me. There's an intensity to him that literally makes me like, it gives me goosebumps. It makes me shiver. And I think he's brilliant.
Yes, I would like to go ahead and just knock out Dev Patel,
Thank
or
you.
what? Adam
Let's
Driver.
get Ben Swallow
I don't know
out
if
of
you saw
here.
House of Gucci, but I was not intimidated or scared by Adam Driver at all. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wanted to slap him in the face a couple of times. He was getting on my
Exactly.
goddamn nerves. Not
Let's
intimidating.
just prove it. That's proving the diversity in his performances, because that character was meant to be more pushed over by Lady Gaga's. You look at a character like Kylo Ren, or even the character he plays in
Kylo
Silence.
Ren is a simp. I just
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
he's more
he
eye
is
candy
an
than
intimidating
intimidating. I mean, he spends half of Last Jedi with his shirt off. Like, put a damn shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm going up
He's
against
not
somebody
even
like
clear.
Benedict Cumberbatch, who looks like he can be snapped in half by like a rookie police officer.
All right, look, does Benedict Cumberbatch look like a reptile? Yes, but that is besides the point of the argument. We are talking about your pick.
But Hannibal Lecter never overpowered people. He outsmarted them. That's what he would do. He would drug the guy. He carved him up. Like, Hannibal Lecter was never a powerful criminal. So one thing with Benicio del Toro, for some reason, I don't get a sophisticated vibe from him, especially because he's kind of got those like lazy, like high eyes. And I can't imagine him sitting in like an opera, like staring at the first chair violin and like.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
you
know,
look at
I
him
just-
in Star Wars when he actually was in that prison cell. He just was like, "Yo, what's up?" And then he just
Hey,
walked
hey,
out.
hey,
He always
hey,
seems
That-
like he's
that's
high.
literally
Like, he's like
like
kind
you're
of
talking
fucked
about
up.
a guy
Yeah.
who's a threat in
Okay.
a prison cell.
I just
It
don't
was
know if I
like he
buy
was
this
smoking
sophisticated
space doobies
criminal.
up
I don't
there.
know. If you
I
saw
mean,
No
know,
Sudden Move, he was a little sophisticated. No Sudden Move. Okay, he got a bit of
I
sophisticated.
mean, he's a great actor.
That's the
don't
thing
get
with
me wrong.
Benicio del Toro.
I'd be curious to see it, but I don't know. I wouldn't.
know if I'll
It
like
wouldn't be
it.
my first choice.
Yeah.
Benicio
okay.
del Toro can play the smartest person in the room, but he does it in a more con artist way. Like we saw in The Last Jedi, like,
Yes.
of course, the usual suspects. You know
That's
Benicio
good.
del
Is he
Toro.
talking to Rod? Is Benicio del Toro talking?
Okay. So that'll end it. Myself and Jack now will
No one
rate
attacked
the
Rod
arguments. Rod is the MVP when it comes to examples that he brought to the table. His examples are always great when it going back to last match. His opening was, I thought, my favorite out of all of them, but his attacks were a bit weaker, so we gave you an 8. Going to Guy now. Guy had a good pick. However, we thought his attacks were just kind of piling on top of what everyone else was saying. Still had a good. We gave him a 7.5. Lucky Boy was our MVP of the round. We gave him an 8.5 because his rebut. One of them, what was it, Jack? One of them we thought was very, very.
He mentioned the fact that Cumberbatch isn't like the most physically like capable person, but like Dr. Lecter is kind of more of like a mental beast
exactly.
where he could just get in your mind.
So we gave him an 8.5. Dev was kind of in Rod territory. We gave him an 8 as well. He stayed very calm and collected when the attacks came in, so we gave you an 8 tied with Rod.
Yeah.
So the score at the moment is Lucky Boy 8.5, Guy at 7.5, and Dev and Rod tied at 8. Lucky Boy has the early lead as we head into the second character. Santa Claus.
Oh,
Alfred Molina.
I went with Jeffrey Wright.
Stephen Lang.
Richard E. Grant.
One of the things I love about Alfred Molina is that he can kind of, in spite of like, he's played a lot of people that aren't great. Like, I mean, like, I loved him as Doc Ock. I loved how he was like a warm kind of, fatherly figure to Peter before he turned into Doc Ock, and the way he kind of has this good spirit to him. Also, one of the things, Santa's a majorly in comedy movies. Alfred Molina has done comedy stuff. He did Pink Panther 2 a bunch of years ago.
I picked Jeffrey Wright just because, I mean, already seen him with that beard, and he's bald, but like throw the Santa hat on him, and
Exactly,
he's just
yeah.
kind of got like this very warm, kind of nurturing vibe to him. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Goldfinch, and he's just got this calm, very like nurturing presence to him, and he takes in like an orphan child, and it's just ever since that movie I've always kind of thought if anybody was gonna like switch up the way we see Santa Claus, he'd be the perfect person to do it.
I think Stephen Lang can prove in some of his performances that he can have a very kind eyes. Like his eyes are very kind looking, but also he has a history with all of like just his face has so many like unique wrinkles, and I feel like that's something that adds a lot of depth to any Santa Claus performance.
So I fucked up really big. I meant Hugh Grant, not Richard E. Grant.
Oh, damn it! I wanted Richard E. Grant. I wanted the pervy, creepy Santa. That's what I wanted.
I'm sorry, Ron. You have to take Richard E. Grant. That's the one.
Pervy, creepy, gay Santa. That's what you went with.
Unfortunately, I meant the other person with the last name Grant. That was Hugh Grant. But I will do my best in defending Richard E. Grant. His performance in Loki, he is actually probably one of the standouts, other than Tom Hiddleston, in that entire show. It brought a lot of nuance, a lot of comedy elements to it. Had really good comedic timing. Needs to be a little bit more dramatic. He has some good dramatic moments in Logan. I'm so fucking mad right now.
Richard E. Grant. The second you said, I was like, damn, he really went off the wall with that one.
Richard E. Grant's like this thin guy.
Yeah, wiry.
And he's also like, you see everything I've seen him in, he's has like a little bit of villainy in him. He's creepy.
Well, hold on, guys.
He looks like a pedophile.
Let's take out Finn for a second.
Okay, like,
there are things called
I don't think he's gonna work.
He can be in a fat suit.
No. Let me rebut. Let me rebut for a second, okay, sir? Okay.
Your damn sweet
Let me just say it's like I could imagine him playing like a really creepy Willy Wonka, but if you're gonna pick anyone from the Loki cast to like play that, I would say Owen Wilson. But that's besides. I'm just saying that's a really bad.
High Santa.
That would be a awesome Santa. But all I'm saying is, more like it's like a Krampus type. Like you went. I know you made a mistake. You went way off.
Russell played a rock and roll Santa.
I don't want to see like
Santa.
a love story with Santa. I don't need any of that Hugh Grant shit. So I'm just saying, both your picks, accidental and intentional, suck.
Hey, first of all, how dare you? How dare you?
How dare me? How dare you for flubbering up your own answer?
Look,
okay?
Hey.
This is a respectable joint. Respectable. You messed this joint up.
Please, quite respectable.
That's with like every word Matthew McConaughey from Dallas Buyers Club to be Santa Claus.
Let's get to Devin Lucky Boy.
I don't even know if I have to acknowledge Richard E. Grant, who would basically be playing the Russian.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's the only really
rich
sad
Russian dude who
you know,
wants to
I
kill Santa
stand on my
Claus.
pick because the rest of you guys are just being assholes.
I know, we're all just picking on him. We're all just picking on Rod there. I guess Alfred Molina.
Yeah, they should be docked. They should be docked for just picking on that guy.
Alfred Molina, I just don't see as the kind of person that kids would want to run and sit on the lap of. His eyebrows alone would scare the shit out of me at 23 years old. Jeffrey Wright, I think that's a pretty good pick. He's very good at showing a lot of complexities and being the most smartest person in the room, but I just feel like most of his performances have this disconnect. He always seems to be a little too smart in his performances. You look at something like The French Dispatch, and even when he played in Marvel's What If, he always seems almost a little too smart to the point where I don't see him as an inviting presence that I would like confide in.
Oh, it's a totally different version of Santa. Like he would be just different. Like he wouldn't be your traditional Santa Claus. I feel like he would just be like very calm, very warm. Like it would just be a chiller
I just
Santa.
can't think of Jack. I don't know why, but I always see him as just cold.
And that's why Richard E. Grant is kind of fucking interesting because it's just we've never seen that Santa.
It's
like
fucked
really.
up. It's messed up.
Either way, you're
I have a chance to rebuttal.
Okay, yeah, let's go to Rod. Rod has his fair take here.
Because except for Lucky Boy, these other two jerks were mainly that guy right there with the glasses guy was being quite mean.
Oh, really? Me?
Yeah, yes.
I think you, sir, are the problem here.
I'm the problem.
A flubber on your faults.
I'm with Dev on this one. Alfred Molina, look, I'm not even gonna go like Spider-Man route. I don't know if you ever saw Promising Young Woman. That's not a guy I want to have. I want my kids sitting on his lap. I want my kids to run away.
All right, okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on. God damn. No. You cannot come to me, Richard
Yes, I
E. Grant, and then
I
shit
just
on
did.
my pick. 5-minute cameo he made in a goddamn.
He was still in it though, wasn't he, guy?
He was in
still
it for 5 minutes, and yes,
And?
was he creepy? Yes, but he has done so much more. All I see for Richard E. Grant is always casted in the same shit.
Okay,
He's just
but
some
guy,
creepy old guy.
Alfred
That's-
Molina
that's
would
my mind.
play the guy that Elf fights in the shopping mall because he's not Santa Claus.
So that's gonna do it. So Jack,
It's intense.
nobody went after Dev, which was interesting.
I actually didn't know who he was talking about.
I didn't know who
Wait,
Dev
wait.
was talking
Even
about.
Lang?
Blind guy.
He's
The
in
blind
Don't
guy.
I
Breathe.
literally-
Don't breathe.
Brian.
Oh, I don't want my kids to
Oh,
do
that
my
guy?
answer.
Oh, what the fuck? I would have torn that. Dude, all the answers were bad except for Jeffrey Wright. Those are all-
That honestly,
Oh, I didn't even know
now
that.
Jeffrey Wright was the perfect answer.
Hold on. That is your Santa Claus? Fuck you. Fuck you.
I
That's
I was
actually
wondering,
great to the
like,
eyebrows.
Lang,
I could
nobody
see
came
it.
after
Ruin
him.
Christmas. We'll save Rod. We'll go
Oh,
to
shit.
Guy first. We'll go to Guy first again. So Guy's
embarrassed?
attacks were better this time. We did take some points off at the end because when the Alfred Molina rebuts came in, you didn't really defend it
Yeah.
very well. I mean,
Oh,
you're
come
the-
on, man.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed.
come on.
Agreed.
So we decided to give you the same score as last time, a 7.5. Lucky Boy, you again had another great round. Probably we gave you another 8.5 for this one because you were probably as great as you were last time. I wish you hit on the voice a bit more because Jeffrey Wright's known for his voice. Dev, we also went for an 8.5. Although we didn't like the pick, I didn't like it specifically. Nobody else seemed to. It's not about me. It's about what everyone else reacts to, and they didn't really talk about his pick. So. If you guys did, we would have lowered Dev's score a bit. Rod's pick was interesting.
Please say
Here
we go.
You tried to defend it as best as you could, and we liked the argument. We liked some of the rebuts. Again, you hit on some of the examples. We gave you a 7 for this round.
Oh, thank God. I got more than Rod. Okay, that feels good.
You know what? I'm sick of you.
Alex is really nurturing my health right now, man. Okay?
Lucky Boy, right now at the end of round 2, is at 17. He's in the lead. Guy and Rod are tied at the bottom at 15, and then Dev is close to behind at 16.5, second place. As we get into round 3, Holmes and Watson.
Oh. So I was thinking Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson.
Oh,
A low-key switch up.
No shot. No
No
shot.
way!
Nemesis
No
is-
way!
You made me break my headset, man. God damn it.
Oh my god!
He's like-
Oh my god!
Those were not mine.
Oh,
so-
wow.
Ah,
Which one? Did you pick Tom Hiddleston?
yes.
Or both? Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix as Sherlock, and Ewan McGregor as Watson.
Ray Fiennes as Sherlock Holmes, and Tony Revolori as James Watson.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Spell his last name.
Tony Revolori is Flash.
Yeah,
in
they
the
they
Spider-Man
were in
movie.
the Grand Budapest
Oh my
Hotel
God.
together.
Okay.
YouTube saw this
Oh my
Okay,
God.
save it, save it.
I have Oscar Isaac as Sherlock and Colin Firth as Watson.
Somebody playing Sherlock Holmes, you gotta be complex, but also have this array of not connecting with humanity the way that Benedict Cumberbatch does in the BBC show. And Joaquin Phoenix is a walking embodiment of not connecting with humanity. And for Watson, you need somebody that really bounces off being like that voice of reason, which Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is a prime example of one of many times that he's done that while also displaying a wide range in his talents.
So let me just say something. These two actors have worked together before so well. You have Ray Fiennes, who's perfect with the variety of things he's played, such as Gustav in Grand Budapest Hotel, or even Voldemort. And then Tony Revolori, I think, is perfect because they've worked together before. And I also think he's got that kind of mindset Watson has, where he's like he's a little more of the reasoning side. He's kind of younger.
Tom Hiddleston, Sherlock Holmes, Owen Wilson, his sidekick, and Rian Johnson directing and writing. So it's kind of like a Knives Out, like murder mystery solving, but it's that kind of tone and atmosphere where it's like light and funny, but it's complicated and complex, and set in London, beautiful. And then Tom Hiddleston, it's almost too easy. It's almost effortless to see him as Sherlock, but Holmes would be different, and Owen Wilson would be more kind of
Yeah.
still the more laid back, calm, like centered version that like can take Sherlock's energy, like super sporadic, like chaotic mind.
Before Lucky Boy had taken my answer of Tom Hiddleston, I did go with Oscar Isaac and Colin Firth. Oscar, I think, I'm going for more of like a dramatic role one with this one, not more like comedy, because we kind of seen that before. I want more of like a straightforward drama, and I think Oscar Isaac can handle that very well. He's proven that many, many times. And if you need him to breathe a little bit more on the humorous side, he's shown as Poe Dameron in the Star Wars movies that he does have somewhat of a comedic angle to him. And then Colin Firth, like a Kingsman, he has more of that subdued kind of, to calm Oscar Isaac down if need be.
Just please do.
I have some opinions on your pick, on everyone. I mean, Owen Wilson. Wow, that was a really bad pick. Let me just say something right now. I do not like that pick. Okay, I don't want to see James Watson. I don't want to, I don't want to see him on a jet ski. I don't like that.
You want to see Tony Ravioli.
All right,
Grand Budapest Hotel. Well, that dude looks like he's high all the time. That's like a stoner kid.
All right, no. That was not. He was not a stoner kid in the movie.
Yes,
right,
he is.
I already know I've lost this round, but that's besides the point. I'm going to keep going I'm in a triumphant mood today. If you guys think my pick is bad, let me just say something about this one. You picked Apocalypse as your pick. What? No. I mean, it's also, he's not even British, which is already something that kind of, I prefer when Sherlock Holmes is British, okay? That's just my personal beef about it. But, like, to me, I've never really seen anything where he's played a Holmes-type character. I've never seen him really, like, I've only seen him kind of be this angry guy who's kind of, like, he'll be, like, charismatic and such, but Holmes is not really much of a charismatic character. He's very cold in that way.
That's kind of my problem with Joaquin Phoenix too. I mean, after seeing him in Joker, I just don't know if I could buy him in Sherlock Holmes role. Like in that, like I can't.
He's
even
proven to
the
transform
director or
himself
the
in
genre.
multiple different roles. You look at him in Her compared to Gladiator, Walk the Line. He's got nominated for so many Oscars, and he plays very different characters. And looking at something like Ewan McGregor, I feel like they would complement each other very well in a way that adds humor both to the awkwardness that comes naturally from just Joaquin Phoenix being himself.
It is weird to me because, like, Oscar Isaac, I would say, is most likely younger than Colin Firth, and Firth is your Watson. And that, to me, is really odd, the way that, like, Watson is older. And that's why I actually picked Ray Fiennes and Tony, because then you definitely have a younger Watson there.
See, I like Oscar Isaac as Sherlock, but I didn't like Colin Firth as Holmes. The balance just didn't
to me. It's like it's also like it also, when you say that, it's like I'm thinking, well, Colin Firth would be a much better.
He would be like an Alfred to Batman, not like an equal. Like I think of like Holmes as like Sherlock's equal.
Oscar Isaac is not as chaotic as Sherlock Holmes needs to be. Even when Oscar Isaac has played a super intelligent person, Ex Machina, he's always very down to earth.
I can't see him with that range.
He plays intelligent.
You have to see him balance out well, and that's why even like thinking of Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, like we saw them balance out, and it worked perfectly.
Okay. And we saw Ray Fiennes and Tony Ravioli balance out. In Grand
let me
Hotel.
Okay.
All right, we did.
But again, the same with the age difference. The same with the age difference with Oscar Isaac and Colin Firth.
Older.
Ray Fiennes and Tony.
Saying, it feels weird. It's a weird decision.
All right, Watson is he counterbalances Sherlock Holmes very well. I cannot see Tony Revel, whatever the hell his name is.
No,
I can't see him overpowering Ray Fiennes in any scene. No, like he was a very. When they had chemistry together on Grand Budapest, it was because Ray Fiennes held the power in every single scene they were together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Going to Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, I do think they share that power equally, but the issue I take is that I don't think it would be easy to look past them as the characters. People would just be seeing Loki and Morbius
it's like the John
again.
C. Reilly and Will Ferrell situation in that
My comparison that I wanted to use was Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson in Men in Black International. That movie was pretty bad, but it was just Thor and Valkyrie in a Men in Black movie.
So I'm going to go to Guy first. because he always seems to just go to me first. So I'm gonna go to Guy first.
Because your picks suck.
You want to come at me for age difference? You want to come at me for age difference? Boy, you must be out your damn mind. Look,
Yeah, but you know what?
hold on.
Lucky boy, I think this is where we take our 10-minute break. Just to let
to both you and to Lucky Boy, we've been down that well before with Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson. We've been down that well. I agree with that. We can't get. I couldn't be able to see past Loki, and then with Ralph Fiennes and Tony Ravioli, I couldn't. Ravioli, I'm gonna call him.
Ravioli.
I can't see him.
Okay,
Ravioli. I can't see past
I see
Grand
where you're
Budapest
going
Hotel. At least mine is a little different. I get what you guys are saying, but at least we got two different. Hold on, Guy. You had your chance, my friend. You had your chance.
Guys,
all right. And then for Joaquin Phoenix, I just don't. I think your Watson's a good pick for Ian McGregor, Dev. It's just for me with Joaquin Phoenix. It's just I just personally for me, I just don't see it. And then you guys were attacking me about Oscar Isaac's, range and everything. All right, well, hold on. Let's see how he does in Moon Knight. He's going to be in Moon Knight. That requires a lot of different personality. All right, Marvel just didn't get him off the street just because that's Oscar Isaac. All right, they got him as Moon Knight for a reason. Okay. Now
they also got Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and look how that.
Hold on. Brie Larson was not the problem with Captain Marvel.
You gotta take it down.
Brie Larson was not the problem with Captain Marvel. That was the writing, Mr. Dev. All right, not.
Okay, let's end it there.
Larson.
Let's end it there.
That was the most epic burn I've ever heard. You just slayed him.
For Rod,
Please say
so this was kind of in between your last two arguments, so we gave you a 7.5. Guy, we also gave a 7.5. We were entirely a huge fan of the picks, but the rebuts were good, so we gave you a 7.5. For Lucky Boy, we gave an 8. Really solid, as always. We thought it was a bit weaker than your last two rounds, especially when Dev came in with the rebuts towards your pick. So Dev had the best argument we thought of the day. He was near perfect in our eyes. He was very great. He single-handed. We were very high on Lucky Boy, actually, near the beginning, but then he totally just destroyed his arguments, at least in our eyes. We gave you a 9.5 for you. The score at the moment is Lucky Boy at 25, Guy and Rod tied at the bottom at 22.5, and Dev leading in the match so far at 26 points. His first time leading in the match. As we head into the fourth and final prompt. Superman.
Oh my god.
That's difficult.
Got a lot of good answers I'm on the fence about, but I'm gonna go with Ryan Gosling.
I'm gonna go with Matthew Good.
I guess I'll go Richard Madden then.
Matt Bomer.
Who?
Matt Bomer. He was in Doom Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about Superman, of course, we're talking about somebody who's very stoic and also just a pretty boy in general, which of course Ryan Gosling is. Like, I can literally just picture that little curl of the hair already. Also something is Superman is a very complex person who holds back his emotions, which is really what Ryan Gosling has made his career out of, is showing complex emotions without really showing. We saw that in Drive. We saw that in La La Land.
All right, so Matthew Good was kind of an oddball choice, but I went with him because I thought about his performance in Watchmen as Ozymandias. He gave a really good performance in that movie. And I can already get the complaints about he's a little too scrawny, a little too, but
I was about to say, you picked a breadstick Superman.
Guy,
buddy.
let him talk, please.
Thank you.
So
My
many.
goodness. You need to go to Lifetime Fitness and get a workout in real quick. That's fine. But he's also turned in some really good performances. I see him sort of like in the leader role. And he's also getting ready to be in The King's Man.
Richard Madden's just, I don't know, he just seems like visually perfect. I mean, he just has that Superman kind of S quality to him. He's got size to him. He's got bulk. How do you re-envision Superman? He'd have to be, I mean, we've seen so many versions of this character now that how do you make it interesting? And I feel like with him, it would be more of like a suave-er Superman.
I picked Matt Bomer because I loved him in Doom Patrol. I think he's a great choice. I mean, if you look at him, he essentially just looks exactly like Superman. And for the movie I'd even want for him to be in would be a younger Superman. I want a new Superman movie where we have, like, I want something like very reminiscent of like the 1977 movie, where it's just, there's a lot of heart to it, a lot of that. He's really got that in Doom Patrol. There's a lot of emotion to the character he plays, and I think he can apply that really well as the character of Superman?
So I'm gonna go first because y'all have
you're
gone
going
first.
first.
And
I was
attacked you
thinking you were
before.
going first on your
Guy,
pick,
you've got if you don't, we're
Yeah.
gonna go to you last.
Can we please just like mute him for like next 50 minutes? Anyway. And I hate to attack Lucky Boy because he's had a bunch of good answers today, but I'm only attacking because he said Richard Madden, and we kind of already seen it before in Eternals as Icarus, and Icarus was kind of already Superman. I mean that was basically Marvel's version of Superman. Now to Matt Bomber. Matt Bomber, I almost went with him, guy. I actually almost went with him because I see it too. Because you look at him, he's like, man, that's Superman. Man's a midget. Man's too short. I can't see him as. Man, I mean, he's basically your height, guy. I mean, he's a little too short to be playing Superman, in my opinion. Ryan Gosling was also a very solid pick, but you know, the thing with him, like, I kind of see him a little bit with Henry Cavill, like that. I like Henry Cavill's Superman, but it's a little emotionalist sometimes. I kind of feel like it's the same thing with Ryan Gosling, just a little bit. I know you brought up stuff like La La Land, but when I watched First Man, I mean, that was just almost too dry, and his performance in Drive is also just too dry. I need some emotion from Ryan Gosling.
I don't get like big commanding presence, like a Superman, like a big powering, like godlike man.
Let me defend Ryan Gosling. You're gonna tell me that in that final shot in La La Land, you don't see any emotion in Ryan Gosling? You're gonna tell me that final shot in First Man,
he's too
when he's
emotional.
staring through the glass at his wife, that you don't feel any emotion?
I
even
get
in Drive, after he stomps that guy's
vibes
head in the
from
elevator, the amount of loss in just his single facial expression, because you know his life is turned.
But I don't think Ryan Gosling.
That's something that Ryan Gosling.
Lucky Boy trying to distract Dev with the locations. I think about your.
My computer was
I'm
dying.
saying Henry Cavill, I do feel like he gives in a very dry performance, but Ryan Gosling has gotten nominated for so many awards because he has that extra layer of complexity where he can add a little bit of depth to the character.
See, I would just
it's
picture
more
La La Land like him.
I have not talked yet.
I would picture like him and La La Land dancing in front of the moon.
To be felt. I would like it to be felt. We're gonna start.
But also, we're talking about Clark Kent equally, like Lucky Boy brought up. Ryan Gosling, I feel like would play.
I want to say something right now, Rod. Your pick. It's like you want like a starving Superman, okay? And I know you're saying muscle, but I'm sorry. That guy is like a yardstick, okay? I feel like if I fucking kicked him, he would snap in half. I look at that guy, I'm like, get that kid a sandwich, okay? Because you know what? He's skinny. He looks like Flashpoint Superman, where he's starving. He's like, he looks like that. He looks like he needs some sun. Ryan Gosling, I want to get to that. I don't want to see a dick Superman. No offense, but whenever I see Ryan Gosling, I always see in his face, dickhead, okay? No offense to the man, but he does have that face, all right?
You pick the guy who's in Magic Mike.
I'm
Oh God!
Man, let me just say another thing. Lucky Boy's pick, Richard Madden. Now, I'm not going to use Rod's weak argument that, hey, we've already seen him play Superman.
Whoa.
I'm going to use the argument. I'm going to use a good argument. Now, here's the thing. Lucky Boy said, like, he wants to see a more suave Superman. That's the opposite of Superman. Like, and when you say you want to see more Clark Kent is a clumsy guy. Clark Kent's a guy who bumps it. You don't want a guy who's suave and he goes in the journalist's office.
We've seen that
he's
before.
like, he's
We've
like,
seen
hello.
that before. I want a new Superman. I don't want the same
But that's
thing.
like that. Like that's like Bruce Wayne. You're asking for something like Bruce Suave. Professional. Okay. That's what. That's not Superman. That counteracts with Superman.
Look at Robert Pattinson as a dark, brooding, like
starving man.
Emos.
One of you wants asshole man, and one of you wants suave man.
We need a new take on Superman.
Man. It's
I cannot collect my thoughts.
Employment of man. I don't like any of them. I think all your picks suck. I think mine are the best, and I think you can kiss my ass.
Robert,
guy with the suicide mission to end the show.
Hold on. Okay. First of all, this is gonna go down as one of the meanest episodes ever because we're all just being assholes right now. Second of all, come on, Clark Kent being like this clumsy guy. Matt Bomber has shown me nothing that he can pull that off. You look at stuff like White Collar, where he's all this perfect spy. Not the
Yeah.
TV show, granted, it's not everyone's, but he's and in a show called Chuck, which no one has seen. Chuck's a great show, by the way. I don't see that. Matt Bauer pulling off the kind of clumsy, like, "Oops, sorry, Lois, I didn't mean to spill your coffee there." I don't see that.
I don't see Matthew Good punching Lex Luthor in like a 1,000-pound exosuit. Okay, I see him breaking his knuckle.
Guy with Matt Bomber, I had to look him up, and it turns out I've seen like over 10 movies that he's in, and just the fact that he's left no impression on me in multiple attempts just kind of tells me that he's kind of just a pretty face that wouldn't do anything more than Henry Cavill is already doing. Matthew Good, he looks like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. I'm sorry. I know I already brought up that Superman's already invincible, but there's something about he just looks scrawny. And then finally, Richard Madden, he looks like a pretty face, and I don't see a whole bunch of complexities. If I do, it's more like he did with Icarus, where he comes across as kind of a jerk, kind of a smartass, like, I'm better than you. I think he would be a good Superman, but I just don't see him as the other side as Clark Kent.
I don't want to see the same with like Robert Pattinson. He's not the typical Bruce Wayne. He's an emo Bruce Wayne. Like, we want reimagined, we want new. I wouldn't mind a more like journalistic, like almost the Post type Clark Kent, where he's also Superman. So it's just
you're choosing a guy who already played
That's essentially what
Superman.
Lois Lane is for, though. That's why I think
But
they
I
work
also-
so well off each other, is because Lois Lane is this confident Pulitzer Prize reporter who's like, literally like, come on, Smallville.
Here, Lucky
But
Boy,
anyways,
real
Ryan
quick, real
Gosling,
quick.
I don't want to see La La Land, Superman the musical. Rod, I'm not even gonna. And and Guy, I mean, Matt Boomer is like, he's just too pretty. Like, he's literally just like, again, almost same with the problem with Ryan Gosling. I could see it like breaking out into a musical and dancing. Like, that's just not Superman. Like, I just I can't see it. But
Okay, but
it.
Lucky Boy, you keep bringing up Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson is a very different casting for Batman. How is Richard Madden different than Henry Cavill's Superman?
Like I said, I would imagine it more of like a journalistic, like the Post, like Steven Spielberg type movie, where it's like you're more focusing on that, and then the Superman aspect of him is like
wait your turn.
Not like you're focusing more on the Clark Kent side of him, and then Superman is the alter ego.
I'm
Because
saying
I
that
want
would be a good
reimagine
movie, but what about
Superman.
Richard Madden would make that different?
What do you mean? Like, as
You're
in,
talking about the writing of taking an approach focusing on Clark Kent. You could do that with any four of our picks. So why Richard Madden? Why would he be the different pick for that?
I feel like he's very like, because you kind of see it. And did you watch that show? He was a spy, and he ended up. What the fuck was that?
Guys, can we go to Rod?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go to Rod. Rod is waiting.
I forgot what I was getting ready to say. First of all, if all y'all, if every one of you guys' defense is just, he's too skinny, y'all are jerks, all right? Y'all are jerks.
I saw him in Downton Abbey. I didn't like him.
Hey, guy, raise your hand like a good person, all right? Wait till the teacher calls on you, all right? Look at that. That guy, now that's a Clark Kent right there.
We're gonna end it there. Oh,
My face is in pain.
Guy was really good, but we just wish he kind of held back on the skinny thing a bit, because it just seemed like he was kind of repeating the same thing over again. We gave you an 8.
Oh, good.
Rod, we thought you were really good as
shit.
well. You were a bit silent at the beginning, but we liked how you revamped your argument at the end. You edged out Guy. We gave you an 8.5.
Ah! I'm sorry.
Yay! I beat Guy. That's it. I'm good for today. Bye, guys.
So Guy is at 30.5 and Rod at 31. So Lucky Boy, we thought this was probably your weakest, just because you fell silent there for a long time, kind of in the middle portion of the segment. And we just thought that the argument just was very convoluted in terms of the fact that you wanted a new kind of Superman, but Richard Madden is very just kind of going back to Henry Cavill, and we kind of saw that in the Eternals. So we gave you, at the end of the day, a 7.5. I'm just getting out of the way. Dev, another great argument. I did have some problems in the middle of it, but overall I thought it was really solid, one of your best ones. So we gave you a 9. And your winner, Devi Conqueror! Congratulations,
Nickname
Jeff.
Blessing.
Your argument was great at the end there, and you hit on two major points. And in the middle of the round, we kind of had you as the winner. We kind of established that. We thought you were great, and this was miles ahead better than your last match, your last outing. And I mean, congratulations, man. You did great.
It's about damn time. No, I thought everyone did a really good job. Everyone had me on their toes a couple times, especially Lucky Boy. I feel like every time I'm on with Lucky Boy, we're going at each other, and it's always very competitive. So it's always an honor to compete with everyone, and I'm glad I could redeem myself. But I guess this still doesn't really answer who won the three-way tie last game. Not my concern. I feel like I did a pretty good job. There was that one Stephen Lang that I think I snuck away with a steal in that round. But I feel very confident coming out of this win.
For sure, and this is actually your first singles win. You've, of course, had a multitude of teams wins, but this is your first singles one, so I know it must feel good, especially after all this time, but you definitely earned it. Jack and I were on the same page throughout that. You were definitely the most consistent player.
Hunter, I'm sorry that your Vikings lost today, but today you are a winner.
Let's now get to Lucky Boy, Rod, and Guy quickly.
His one-liners this episode were fucking amazing. Like, he had so many that just like killed. Like, what was the Matt Boomer Magic Mike one, or the Brie Larson?
That one was
man.
That one was,
I mean,
like,
just those
savage.
alone, like, give him the crown, because that was awesome.
And I thought he already did well last time, but like he just knocked it out of the park this time. Especially like Lucky Boy said, with his one-liners. And it really made me realize that, hey man, if you want to join the Watchers, you know, if there's ever a way that can happen, you know, just call us up, you know, maybe you're missing your former people, you know, and you know, look, did I do better than Rod this time? No, but my heart, yes. So I mean, it's just there's a lot of emotions going on right now. I already knew I'd lose to Lucky Boy, but I was kind of disappointed with the Rod thing. But there will be blood again.
Thank you, Lucky Boy, for not stealing my answers this go around, except for that one time, and I broke my headphones in the process. So, you know, there's that. And then Guy, shit. You know, I have no words for you, man. I really don't. I really just don't.
I'm just glad we don't all do this in the actual same room, because Rod would have just like cleared a table and taken Guy right in the middle of it.
Okay, so that's getting the show here. Jack, any final thoughts before we depart?
Well, I guess this is kind of like Godfather 1 and 2, where it's just too close to call whether the first or the second's the better.
I completely agree.
Yeah, this is going to turn out to be a fun video. I'm excited.
It's hard to beat the first Fancast match. I'm on record saying that's my personal favorite match that we've done in a long time, at least of season 2. And so it's hard to top that. But in this match, I mean, it just goes to what you were saying before, the chemistry that all these guys have together. Their arguments are all great. This will be, at least for now and hope in a long time, the last matchup between these four people. So I can only hope that the next individuals that come into the next Fancast match have the same enthusiasm and have that same charisma going into it. I mean, it was another match for the record books, a Godfather Part 2, if you will, like our good friend Jack Renaud just mentioned. Dev the Conqueror, I should say, came out on top, and he gets 4 points for the hunt as he defeats Lucky Boy, Rod, and Guy. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified on our latest similar related competition from Fancast matches like this. Check out some film trivia while you're at it, some Cinemores, all that jazz. Follow all the individuals in this match on their respective accounts. The links for those will be down in the description below. Thank you for watching, everyone, and ciao.